Hello everyone and welcome to another Würth Elektronik eiSos webinar. My name is Eleni Stark and I will moderate this webinar this afternoon. We are very pleased that you took the time to participate in our webinar. The topic of today's webinar is SMT LED techniques from the professional, the reverse mount. Our speakers today are our product managers, Lin Do and Harun Özgür. They will hold today's webinar and also answer your questions. Before we start the webinar, I would like to point out one thing. You'll be muted during this webinar today. This means that you cannot ask us questions via microphone during the webinar. Nevertheless, you have the opportunity to ask us questions during the webinar at any time via the chat function. And you'll find the chat function in the webinar control panel. The webinar presentation itself will be about 30 minutes long. The chat questions will then be answered in a question-answer session following the webinar. There are also 10 to 15 minutes in addition scheduled for this. Anyway, you can also ask us all your questions during the webinar via the chat function, and our colleague Harun Özgür will answer these questions immediately. If we are unable to answer all your questions within this time, the 10 to 15 minutes after the webinar, we will answer them via email after the webinar. And if you still have any other questions left after the webinar, just email us at eisos-webinar@we-online.com. We will try to answer all your questions promptly. At the end of the webinar, you'll be asked to participate in a feedback survey. We would be pleased if you take the time to fill out the survey and help us to improve our webinars. The link to the recording of today's webinar as well as the presentation will be sent to you in a separate email a few days after the webinar. And you can also watch the recording of today's webinar a few days later on our website under the navigation point Webinars or on our Würth Elektronik YouTube channel. Now we'll hand over to our speaker, Lin Do, and I wish you an exciting webinar.
Hello and welcome to our webinar. These are the topics today. First, we will have a small introduction of our LED. Then, we will share with you our experience about the reverse mode LED, include the issues while using this LED and the solution. Enjoy our webinar and let us start. What is a LED and how is a LED built up? LED is the light emitting diode. From now on, I will call it LED. We are very proud to share with you in details what makes our Würth Elektronik LED special, positive from the other. We start with the construction of the LED. Basically, the heart of the LED is a chip, also well known the dies. Here's the dies. And this is also the active element of the component. The chip is necessary for the light emission. The chip is necessary for the light emission of the LED. Different from almost LED manufacturer, Würth Elektronik did the pre-selection of the chips for the best yield. Our LED are available in a wide variety of packages. We offer all industry standard designed LED, as well as the other optoelectronic components like detectors. In connection with the chip, the gold white and the gold plate contacts are we call also lead frame. They are also important for a good connection and signal evaluation. The substrate is the material which holds the package together, and it defines the size of LED, such as 06, 03, 08, 05. The optics part, in another word, lens, is necessary to protect the chip. It's the Wi-Fi to extract the light generated from the chip. When we are talking about the LED, it can be any LED lamps, LED modules. Even many people just think about the LED display. But today, we are discussing about the LED component or LED packages. There are many kinds of LED packages. Let us show you what different they are. It's very helpful to do your circuit design. First, the chiplet. LED chip, chiplet. No, don't mix them up. They are different. LED chip we did know from the last slide, but the chiplet is a type of LED package. As you see here, the substrate is a PCB, and the optics is made out of epoxy molding. With this type, we can make the LED very small, for example 04, 02, even 0201. The second type is the PLCC, we also call top LED. PLCC is the shortcut of plastic lead carrier chip. The substrate is the PLCC housing, and the optics is silicon. With PLCC case, the LED can be made bigger. Therefore, the brightness is in the most case higher. The number in PLCC 2, 4, or 6 here, you see, this is the number of the contact plate or pins. The third one, I would like to introduce you. This is a ceramic LED, was made of top quality materials, such as ceramic substrate for low thermal resistance, such as the gold wire, the gold plating, and the silicon lens. For this package, the chip is bigger, therefore the intensity is higher, and the LED can be driven with high current up to 1 ampere. The common size on the market is 3.5 and 3.5 millimeters. Very classic but robust is the TFT LED, the two-hole technology LED. We offer them with 3 mm and 5 mm, with or without stopper, with the transparent or color dispute lens. So now we are talking about the mounting of LED. The most popular way to place the LED on the platen is in top view, whereby the LED emits the light on top. The second use is on the side. This LED is called side view LED. And the last, in the third picture you see, is the reverse mode, of which we as the LED manufacturer will interpret the benefits in the next slide. You have the image of the reverse mode LED. Yes, it's also the SMT LED, the surface mode technology, and can be placed upside down on the platen. The reverse mode LED is well known as bottom end tried, reverse package, or rear mounted LED. Here, please pay your attention. The reverse mode LED can be used as top mode, but not every top view LED can be used as the reverse mode because of their solder areas. This is our drawing of packaging in the datasheet. This is also important while reading the datasheet. Please check up the drawing of packaging in order to make sure that you will find the right products for your application. Sometimes the LED itself doesn't change, but only the way to pack it in the tapes is different. On the tip of the topmost version, you can see the top view of LED here, and another side in the bottom view of LED. We offer very wide portfolio of the reverse mode LEDs, and by your request, we can provide the reverse mode in top mode packaging as project. So this is for you as information. In this case, please feel free to contact our sales tab. The reverse mode LED, as its name, is designed for all applications, whereby the light shine down toward to the board instead of up. Yes, it sounds strange. But for this case, we need to make a hole on the PVC, and the LED can light through it. This could be useful, for example, where the board is used as some sort of touchpad with LED indicator or backlighting, or in the application whereby the light diffuse through the glass fiber in telecommunication. I would like to show you our portfolio of the reverse mode LED. These are our common reverse mode LED. The first one is with the size 1206 with rectangular lens in monocolor. The second is also 1206 with cylindrical lens, also in monocolor. We have also 1206 with dome lens in monocolor. And the next size is 1205 with rectangular lens in monocolor. For this type, this package, we have also in water clear lens or diffuse lens. And of course, we have also the bicolor LED and RGB LED with rectangular lens in 1205 and 1206. So using the reverse mode LED is no problem. Just by design the circuit with this length, we need to pay much attention on the standard IPC. IPC stands for Interconnecting and Packaging Electronic Circuit, especially the IPC 7351. This is generic requirement for surface mode design and LAN pattern standard. So, what is important in this standard? The most important information is you need to keep the distance from the soldering pattern, also named LAN pattern, to the hole at least 0.25 millimeters. Based on our experience, it's not easy to keep the distance. The first reason is because of the form of lens. It needs to be fit into the hole. And the second, it depends on the PCB manufacturing. The picture shows you an example to make the second hole on the PCB. And this design is perfect for the reverse mode LED with the cylindrical lens or with dome lens. It's just not always for the LED with the rectangular lens. I will show you next. The most easy way to place the reverse mode LED with the rectangular lens on the PCB is making the rectangular hole as big as the lens. Surprisingly, the reverse mode LED with rectangular lens is very common on the market and has variety of lens size. The rectangular hole may be the good solution for the rectangular lens to keep the distance according to the IPC standard. But for the PVC manufacturer, it may be an issue because to make the hole, they can drain to the PCB only. Therefore, you can make the hole like this subscriber circle or rounded rectangle. Or sometimes you need to cut the LAN pattern like this to fit the lens into the hole. They are just our recommendations, but the design of the LAN pattern should be adapted to your soldering process. At this slide, this is our suggestion of the LAN pattern for the reverse mode LED with the dome lens. The benefits of this LED are the dome lens can create a very small viewing angle, up to 20 degrees. Therefore, the intensity is increased. And this lens is perfect in application for coupling in the optical fiber. And the last advantage is the contact area is very good for soldering in reverse use. Opposite, this dome lens is not allow enough legs for bonding many dies inside. Therefore, this packaging is not suitable for making the bicolor and RGB LED. The reverse mode LED with cylindrical lens. The design of LAN pattern for cylindrical lens is also similar to the dome lens. Actually, this LED has the best lens form, which is excellent for the PCB manufacturing. Here, if you need the application which requires the wide viewing angle, this LED is the best tool for you. Of course, the soldering paste is also ideal for the reverse use. It's big enough. And here, just the molding for this lens type is very special. Therefore, the production cost is higher than another type. And with the same reason as the dome lens, this packaging is not suitable for the bicolor and RGB LED. The reverse mode LED with rectangular lens. Here we have two sizes, 1205 and 1206. What is the difference? The size 1206 is the first generation of chipless reverse mode, and the 1205 is improved with many benefits. First, it's slimmer. Here we can compare the wide 1.2 millimeters with 1.6 millimeters. And the contact area is also bigger for reverse use. The length of the 1205 is more proportional. That means the hole on the LAN pattern design is smaller than 1206. That means it's better for saving place on the PCB. But the both sides, 1205 and 1206, are perfect to for making the bicolor LED and RGB LED. At last, you can, but you don't have to make the LAN pattern by yourself for the secure design, because all data can be found and downloaded from our online catalog. I would like to do the summary for this webinar today. First, thanks for joining us in the world of the visible LED. Now you get more information about our LEDs, especially the reverse mode LEDs. Our products are the standard footprint with the best solder ability. They are available in mono, bicolor, and RGB. Together with that, they are also available with the water clear and diffuse lens. And our portfolio has a variety of the lens form. It's also useful to know the dome lens for all applications which require the small viewing angle, such as replacement the THT LED for the traffic indicator or messenger board. The cylindrical lens is the best PPC usage for all applications which require the wide viewing angle, just like the backlighting touchscreen. And the rectangular lens is for you the cost saving and for all applications which require the both top view and reverse montage. Okay, and the last, please remember our sales staff are always there to support you. Thank you.
Thank you for this great webinar, Lynn. Now we would like to turn our attention to your questions in our chat, and we will just wait a little while until some questions have come in. In the meantime, I would also like to draw your attention also to the fact that in a few days you will be able to view the webinar once again on our website. And after the webinar, we will also send you all the documents, also the presentation of today in PDF format in a separate email. And if you have any questions left also after the webinar, you can also email us at one of the two addresses that you can see right here now, the eisos-webinar at we-online.com, or also the iPowerPoint PM hotline at we-online.de. So now we will have a look if we have already any questions. There were some questions, but my colleague Harun did already answer them in our chat. We have only one or two questions left, as I can see, right? Is there going in plan? So
The Guangwing
yeah,
is I think this is PLCC reverse mode LED. No, it's not common on the market, so we don't have them in our plan.
okay. Another question. Unfortunately, we have the problem that the LED is too bright. The light from the LED is diffused through the PCB. Can you tell me if it is possible to create a footprint with a galvanized hole for the LEDs? May it solve this problem?
Okay, I check it again. So this about the if it's possible to create the footprint with a galvanized hole for the LED lamp pattern. Okay, I guess this LED should be the LED reverse mode with dome lens, and the PCB based on FR4. And I think it's possible if you can make the galvanized ring as a wire. Okay, just please take care that the distance between the wire, the hole, and the pit, it should have enough place, because in the worst case, the solder paste may enter into the hole and it may cause a short circuit. Yes, it's possible.
Okay, then we also have another question. I would like to know what is the possible largest size of the reverse LED to avoid any additional focusing light lenses?
This is a 1206 with a rectangular lens. This is in our portfolio. I need to consider you. This is only in our portfolio, but on the market, we know they have also one PLCC 3528. Is named Gunwing, what we mentioned before. Is also the bigger size.
Okay. as I see now, we don't have that many questions, as we already answered some of them in our chat. Yeah, so you can also just wait a little while, but if you, as I said already, if you have any questions also after the webinar popping up in your mind, just email us at one of these two addresses. We will try to come back to you as soon as possible to answer your question, and you can also contact your sales support in your country to help you with your request. Yes. Currently, there are no more questions, so I would like to thank you once again, Lynn, and also to our to our participants of this webinar today, and we hope to see you for the next time again. Goodbye.